Is New York City's newly elected communist mayor, Zohran Mamdani, related to Jeffrey Epstein? Was his whole rapid ascension just secretly a plot orchestrated by an international sex ring of child-eating predators? No. End of video. Y'all, we can tune into the next one. Y'all have a good one. Nah, I'm just playing with you. Basically, what's going on, what's blowing up in the right-wing conspiracy spheres is that Zohran Mamdani is somehow secretly related to Jeffrey Epstein, and that him becoming New York City mayor is all part of the plan of the secret cabal that is controlling the pulling the strings, right? And the reason why they are running with this is because Zohran Mamdani's mom, Mira Nair, her name appears in the Epstein files a few times. Now, again, as per the words of Donald Trump's personal defense attorney / the deputy attorney general, Todd Blanche, just having your name appear in the Epstein files is not a sign of guilt, right?
Camera at the rallies. Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in relations with minors will be prosecuted?
Well,
Any
look,
chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein, and so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein. And
if you actually take a look at where Mira Nair's name actually comes up, it's in an email between a publicist and very close confidant of Jeffrey Epstein named Peggy Siegel. I previously mentioned her in another video talking about some other names that were mentioned in the Epstein files, like the two sports owners for the New York football teams, Steve Tisch and Woody Johnson. Peggy Siegel here is sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein in October of 2009 saying, just left Ghislaine's townhouse after party for a film. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos were there. Gene Pigozzi, director Mira Nair, etc. So in an email from a publicist, this is again a publicist to Jeffrey Epstein, who's saying that she was at an after party that was being held at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse for the film. Zohran Mamdani's mom was the director for the film. There is no other evidence indicating that Zohran Mamdani's mom went to Epstein Island. No indication that there was even any direct contact with Mira Nair and Jeffrey Epstein. The other time that her name pops up is in this poster invitation that was for Jeffrey Epstein, where he was formally invited to the independent filmmaker project Spring Gala, May of 2010. And Mira Nair was on the committee that extended the invitation to Jeffrey Epstein. And MAGA and all their conspiracy bots and all this shit, they're running with this as evidence that, again, Mira Nair and Jeffrey Epstein had some kind of close ties, and this is why Zohran Mamdani was able to win the New York City mayoral race. If you think that this is a close enough connection to prove any sort of nefariousness, when there are much more incriminating proofs of evidence in these files indicating much higher people in positions of power, I don't necessarily know what to tell you. But I did also notice that Hugh Jackman was on the actor host committee, also with comedian Seth Meyers and Uma Thurman. So unless you believe that those people also went to Epstein Island to eat babies, the association here is flimsy, if any, at best, right? But that's not going to stop MAGA from taking whatever they can and spinning an entire web of conspiracies. What was circulating around Twitter was pictures such as this, like, oh look, Zohran Mamdani here, pictured age 10. So let me get this straight. The New York Muslim mayor, communist New York mayor, his mother, Mira Nair, born in India, moved randomly to America, ended up in the Jeffrey Epstein files, and her son, Zohran Mamdani, suddenly became NYC mayor. Ain't no way. Zohran Mamdani pictured here with his mother, and Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos. And you just gotta love community notes coming in clutch every single time, because first of all, I love how the picture circles child Mamdani with a watermark right here that he just conveniently just completely misses. And we'll talk about where that watermark comes from. The photo showing Mira Nair and young Zohran Mamdani with Clinton, Gates, and Bezos is AI generated and fake. Nair is mentioned in Epstein files for attending a 2009 film after party at Maxwell's home, along with Clinton and Bezos. But that also didn't stop real world agitators from the MAGA sphere from apparently having staging a protest outside the mayor's office, and they're apparently calling it they're trying to sell it as Mamdani supporters because these people said, "Oh, we support you, Zohran," but again, there was no actual identification of, like, none of these protesters are named, none of the groups that they're with are named. It's just random people who went to the mayor's house saying, "You lied, lied about what exactly? I don't know." I'm trying to find the goddamn video. Where is it? Here? Yeah. Also, quick thought. This is being reported by I meme, therefore I am. Very reliable and valid investigative journalist who, if you read their bio, is a mom, meme warrior, zero apologies, political parody that hits hard and lands harder. But again, that's not going to stop MAGA from taking this and running with it to shit on Zohran in any way they can.
That's right, we know about your mom. Now listen, we was with you, Zohran. We voted for you, Zohran.
First of all, the captions misspell his name. Secondly, we know about your mom. What exactly do you know about his mom? That his mom was a director and that Ghislaine Maxwell owned the townhouse in which the after party was held at, and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates were there.
We advocated for you, Zohran. We advocated for you. You ain't getting up and get up in there and lie to us. You lied, Zohran. Shame, Zohran.
Shame! Shame!
The first lie was CCRB, Zohran.
Shame!
CCRB can have the final say, Zohran.
DCRB should have the final say. That was the first lie. The second lie was what? About, what? He never lied. What is the lie? I'm trying to understand exactly what the lie is here. Zohran never claimed or denied being a part of the Epstein files. He's not even affiliated with the Epstein files in any way, shape, or form. His mother's only affiliation is, again, a after party being held at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse in which Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos were in attendance, and a publicist who was very close to Jeffrey Epstein was also in attendance. That is the only connection. But then you have, other rag papers, Hindustan Times. This was reported by the International Business Times, the New York Post, like all slanted papers, of course. Oh, I forgot this too, that, and this was the post I wanted to bring up. Zohran Mamdani's mom was married to a gentleman by the name of Mitch Epstein prior to marrying Zohran's dad. And because of the name association, MAGA thinks that there is some kind of relation between Mitch and Jeffrey Epstein. Because again, these people have the IQ of a goldfish.
When Zohran Mamdani's mom's name shows up in the Epstein files and the collective...
Now, again, if you are wearing a hat that says 4547 and you're worried about the Epstein files and your eyes skip past Trump's name appearing thousands of times and you're focused about the 3 times that Mira Nair's name comes up, and one is on a poster, the other is about an after party that a publicist attended at Maxwell's house. But you're not concerned about the thousands of times in which there have been numerous complaints being reported about Trump doing just truly the most deviant shit imaginable. That's the conspiracy, but Mira Nair's name coming up is factual evidence.
Left, the progressives, the propagandists, and the liars in the media who have been using the Epstein files to try to destroy the Trump administration since he took office back in January don't care. It's a pretty good indication that they never really cared about what's actually in the files or the victims. They just wanted something they could beat Trump up with. Wait a second, Patriot Dad. Are you telling me that Zohran Mamdani's mom's name is in the Epstein files? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Zohran Mamdani's mother is a film director by the name of Mira Nair. And yes, Mira Nair's name is showing up in the Epstein files. So I decided to take a screen recording of her route so you can actually see the document itself. And in this document, you'll see Peggy Siegel is emailing Jeffrey Epstein. and she says, I just left Ghislaine Maxwell's
Which is the document we just went over.
townhouse after party for a film. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos and Gene Peruzzi and
Bro, can't read because it says Pigozzi. There's clearly a G.
director Mira Nair are in attendance.
I don't even know why he took a... He could have just put a screenshot of the fucking article over his face so we could read it.
This Mira Nair, Zohran Mamdani's mother, held an after party for a movie that she directed at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse back in 2009. And I'll remind you, 2009 is not that long after Jeffrey Epstein accepted a plea deal for the things that he was doing to underage girls down in southern Florida, in which Ghislaine Maxwell was named as a conspirator in that case. So
The very same Ghislaine Maxwell that Donald Trump has extended well wishes to, has moved from maximum security to a minimum security facility with generous privileges, such as having a fucking puppy in jail. The same Donald Trump who has been documented numerous times with Jeffrey Epstein, who has been doing nefarious shit as far back as the early 1990s.
these people, Mira Nair, Bill Clinton, Jeff Bezos, and everyone else that was there for this after party, they knew that when they were hanging out with Ghislaine Maxwell, who, by the way...
Did Donald Trump also know that when he hired Alex Acosta for his Department of Labor secretary in his first term? The same Alex Acosta who offered that sweetheart plea deal to Jeffrey Epstein in 2008.
was one of the best friends and business partners and everything else of Jeffrey Epstein. Question for you. Why would Mira Nair be associated with that circle of people going all the way back?
Why would Donald Trump be circled with that specific person? There's actual documented evidence of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein being in the same room together.
Back to 2009. And another question for you. How is it possible that somebody who is hanging out with the Epstein orbit with Ghislaine Maxwell, her son ends up as the mayor of New York City?
A Jeffrey Epstein that died 6 years ago influenced the New York City mayor, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison. They both influenced Zohran Mamdani becoming the New York City mayor. For what purpose exactly? The same Jeffrey Epstein who has numerous ties to the state of Israel, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Ghislaine Maxwell herself, both have ties to Israel. They want to put in position one of the most outwardly spoken anti-Israel politicians into one of the most prominent positions in politics in the United States. Right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, just to basically summarize, Zohran Mamdani is not related to Jeffrey Epstein. That is one of the most stupid, dumb, just concocted nonsense conspiracy that MAGA could come up with as another attack on Zohran. But if you feel like this evidence is proof of something nefarious, I have a bridge to sell you. Y'all like the video, comment, subscribe for more. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.